Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special edition of LSRTV. Happy birthday, Wesley. We had to cook this up for you. It's your birthday here today. We only have a little bit more time until your birthday passes, but we thought, hey, let's get a graphic for you. So happy birthday, Wesley, as well as it is the last race of the round of 12 here tonight for the Northwest ARCA series. Wesley, tonight, it is going to be a fun one. My name is Sam Dyer. I've got Wesley with me as well. And Wesley, we're at Atlanta, hot Atlanta. It is going to be hot, slick, but not as slick as the graphic that we have behind us.
Man, thank you so much. I appreciate that sincerely. I started announcing with LSRTV back in end of April of last year, pandemic going on, and I thank the world of Charles and Jeff and all the people, Greg, yourself, Samuel. You know, I've said it like this. You're going to get me teared up here. We're all like family. I mean, I know we're all in parts, different globes of the United States, but we're all like family. But I've had a great 38th birthday. I just got back from doing what I do best, announcing a football game, and now I'm looking forward to some iRacing. Got announcing for the rest of the weekend and spending time with friends. And, man, it's just been a great day. Thank you, Samuel. I appreciate it, Jeff. That's an awesome send-off. Thank you. Got another, 30 minutes left till midnight, so it's still my birthday.
We got to make sure that we send you off with a bang here today, but it is Atlanta that we are at here tonight. Drivers are just got done with practice, getting ready for qualifying, but for us up in the booth, I mean, I got to say, tonight, a lot of pressure on these drivers. It is the last race to find out who's moving from the round of 12 to the round of 8. We're saying goodbye to 4 drivers here tonight, and there's a couple that are kind of already not looking like they're going to be moving on. Stephen Paulson, one of those drivers that has not shown up the last 2 weeks and looks like not going to be showing up here today. But there's some drivers that are already looking like they can lock themselves in. We already saw Kevin Smith winning the first race of the round of 12 at the Indianapolis Road Course. And then we saw 2 drivers that were non-playoff drivers winning, that being Sean Breitzman at the Indy Oval, and then as well Jeff Stabnow last week at out of Iowa. But here today, it is a lot of pressure on these drivers here, Wesley.
Samuel, this is it. Bottom line, you have got to show what you can here. Either you got to do what you can to accumulate as much positions on the racetrack to get to finish in the top 8 in the points, or try to pull a Hail Mary out of a pocket and go for a win. And we've seen that. No, you've seen Jeff Stabnow win last week. We saw, of course, Kevin Smith do well. These are guys that are already Northwest Cup and Truck Series competitors. They're not an ARCA driver. So one of these guys racing for the ARCA Northwest Championship have got to pull a rabbit out of a hat and try to pull some type of an upset here if they're going to, or if not, just salvage a decent finish. And Atlanta is an unforgiving racetrack. It's 1.5 miles. It's the intermediate with the dog leg and the banking in the corners. It's going to be very exciting to watch here. I think, Samuel, this is going to be an awesome race. And I think that Atlanta is the perfect track to have in the final race in the round of 12 to advance to the round of 8 for not just the ARCA series tonight, but the Cup and Truck series next week as well.
Oh, absolutely. In Atlanta recently, I mean, with the update that came just a couple of months ago on iRacing, it's now enabled Atlanta to be an actually multi-groove racetrack. Drivers can be right against the wall or down at the white line and pick and choose where they feel the most comfortable and throughout a run, slightly move higher and higher, which was something that was not here on iRacing just about 3 or 4 months ago. It was only a 1-groove lane. Now it's time to see how these drivers can adapt with how hot and slick it's been. I've been hearing from all the drivers, track temps been anywhere from 120 to 135 degrees, meaning it is hot, slick, and those tires are going to be just going all over the place, being torn up. And that means that everyone here is, I think they're going to be dealing with a lot of pressure of just holding onto their car. But from us up in the booth, we're going to send it down to Tom Denchel and give a big thanks to them. And when we come back, it's time to take a look at Atlanta. How hot is it? And where are the drivers going to lie for their grid? We'll be right back in just a second here on LSRTV.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSR TV. Of course, remember, you can watch it and then you can listen to it on CRN, the community radio network, at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. They've done a great job in really creating a full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You get to see the racing from above. We are here at Atlanta. Playoff racing action for the Northwest ARCA Series. Here tonight, Friday night racing action. My name is Sam Dyer. With me is Wesley Outland. And Wesley, Atlanta, we've touched on it a little bit. It is extremely hot. It's going to be a very difficult race, but we're going to send it over to you to give us a little bit more of the race information of what the drivers are getting set for here tonight.
It's going to be a fun time here tonight as we're about 9 minutes away from the field gridding here for this event. Let's take a look at the Race on Texas 411 race information on the bottom left. Tonight's race, 30-minute practice, done. Qualifying completed. Drivers meeting is ongoing right now. And this is going to be 140 laps. It's a 140-lap race, which is the equivalent of 200 miles. This is about the same distance that you see the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race whenever they are in action on their doubleheader weekend in February, or actually in April, March is when they actually run them now. And of course, that is an exciting track. Remember, Atlanta is being repaved, and I'm sure, Samuel, that whenever the new repave is done, the new blueprints will come in, the laser disc of the track will be completed, and you'll see Atlanta updated on iRacing as well.
Yeah, Atlanta going to be becoming more narrow, higher banking, and it is going to be a very fast course, even faster than it is currently in Atlanta. One of the faster racetracks that these drivers have been attacking. And, I'm excited for the new Atlanta that's coming out, but first these drivers have to conquer the current Atlanta build that we have, where it is going to be slipping and sliding, drivers picking and choosing where they want to go. And Wesley, you touched on it, 140 laps. Well, the drivers are only going to have 4 sets to work with, the one that they start out with, and 3 in pit road. And all I've been hearing from the drivers is those tires are wearing out very quickly. So you got to be very precise on when you want to come into pit road. 1, for fuel, and 2, when do you really want to come in for tires? Because it sounds like tires way more important than the fuel run.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. That's going to be really, really interesting. We'll see how all that goes on as we watch this clock tick down here on the upper left. And by the way, let's take a look at the sawblade.com weather conditions. Bottom right is 86 degrees. Oh, my goodness. So it is 122 degrees on track temperature. Sunny skies, clear. It is beaming hot. Okay, I know it's only 86 degrees virtual, but Samuel, 122 degrees on the track temp. That is really going to be melting these tires. I mean, they're going to be scorching rubber when this race gets started.
Yeah, I think for the drivers, they were hoping to see mostly cloudy, so that at some point this track would get a little bit of a break from the heat just baking in and making the track temp hotter and hotter each lap. But as you can see, it's clear, it's sunny, but luckily the track temp went down for a second because there's not as many drivers on it. But once we get the field out on track, that means this track is just going to get hotter and hotter each lap. The drivers have been practicing of the track temps anywhere from 120 to 135 degrees, which Atlanta has the name of Hot Atlanta, but it really means that you're going to be slipping and sliding and having issues coming off the corner where I've been hearing from the drivers as well, Wesley. They've been having a really good, clean racing. Not a lot of cautions coming out. I mean, the most recent caution that has hit that of the ARCA series was all the way back at the first race of the playoffs at the Indy Road Course, but that was a competition caution. It wasn't an on-race incident. It has been quite a long time since we've had that on-race incident that brought out a yellow. And the drivers are feeling like they're clean all the way through this race. Green Racing might come to a close here at Atlanta with a couple of mistakes of drivers trying to hold on to this very difficult track that we're going to be seeing with the ARCA series.
So there you see it, all that good stuff going on. Now let's take a look at the point standings for the drivers of the Northwest ARCA series, as again, this is the final race in the round of 12. They may advance to the round of 8. And my apologies, that looks like the Northwest Cup Series point standing. So as we get ready for Monday, there is a look at your point standings going into the race on Monday. But anyhow, I'm going to throw an audible here. It happens, and we'll get the. Come on, Samuel, help me out here. Who's lead tonight? Are you lead or I'm lead? We gotta get the point standings here somehow.
Well, the points, we'll say them audibly. We know who's locked in officially coming into this race before the green flag waves. That is Kevin Smith. He is the only ARCA driver that is locked in from winning back of the Indianapolis Road Course. But drivers that can lock themselves in because of a smaller field that we're having here tonight, not enough points to knock out some of these drivers once they go green. As you see, the drivers that are in the colors, I believe those are also off as well, as I think those are for Monday night as well. So our whole entire ticker and graphics, it's a special night, Wesley. It's your birthday, and obviously things are going out of control.
All right, so here it is. The Northwest ARCA series isn't even showing up on Dan Lisa, aka Sim Racer Hub. Okay, so like, how can I give you the points? Okay, this is no way my fault or Samuel's fault. It's just we don't have the graphic. So sorry. Let me down. We do know. Hey. It's very simple. When the race starts, Samuel and I will tell you to look at the legend. And when you see the legend of drivers that are in green, they've advanced. Those that are in blue are in the round of 12. Those that are in red are outside the top 12 in 9th to 12th, so they need to advance. Is that a nice way of saying the legend, Samuel? Just follow the legend?
That is a very neat and tidy way of saying it. It is. Tonight, we're going to get things situated for sure, hopefully. But, interesting way for us to start the broadcast, that's for sure.
It is.
But we do have a list that we have just found. So we know for sure Kevin Smith's locked in. Second in points is Ryan Bloom. Dennis Moore in third. Fourth's going to be Robert Gamble. Toby Ritter's in fifth. Tied in fifth and sixth in points is going to be that of James Vining. Seventh is Frank Harris. And Carl Burke going to be the eighth driver. But Carl Burke, not here tonight, has not locked in. So that eighth place position is up in the air for one of the four drivers that are outside looking in, needing a solid run. Troy Daggett, who is in 9th, 10th place is going to be Aaron Cooper. 11th is going to be Jed Wakefield. And 12th is that of Stephen Paulson. But Paulson, once again, not here as well. So it is going to be a mixed bag tonight of drivers that did not show up for tonight's race, and drivers that, because of not seeing Carl Burke show up, that one spot is wide open for that of Troy Daggett, Aaron Cooper, and Jed Wakefield to duke it out to see who can get the best points of those three to sneak into the top 8.
There you go. So we are about 2 minutes away. All right, so Samuel, unofficially, I know we don't have our picks tonight, but we do have our picks tonight. Who's your pick to win here tonight at the ARCA Northwest race finale of the round of 12 here at Atlanta?
I mean, looking at the stats and where drivers lie, I think Kevin Smith's probably going to be my pick, but that's really, it's up in the air on who can win this thing. But I'm going to go with Kevin Smith, unofficial pick, and I'll stick with him for the whole entire night.
All right, so there you go. Let's who am I going to go with? All right, so I am going to say Sean Breitzman. Hear me out. Sean had to win Atlanta to advance to the championship at Phoenix, if you remember. Oh, no, my apologies. He won Texas. But here's the thing, though, Samuel. Texas and Atlanta are very unique. They're very similar. So my pick is Sean Breitzman, originally from Puyallup, Washington, now from Tucson, Arizona. My pick to win here tonight in the ARCA Northwest. And again, not a I know he's not like a full-time ARCA Northwest points contender, but I still think he's going to win. And I think it'll be, his second win on the series, because he won a couple of weeks ago, didn't he?
Yeah, he dominated the Indianapolis Oval in the ARCA series 2 weeks ago. So Sean Breitzman, a solid pick. And, I talked to Sean Breitzman and Jeff Stabnow, both drivers that are not officially ARCA registered drivers. They're outside coming in. It is completely open for any drivers that are in the Northwest Series to come in and race on Friday nights. I know there was a limit on how many times you could come in if you were racing in the Cups and Trucks and being consistent and you've won in those series. But now it has been opened up, and Jeff Stabnow and that of Sean Breitzman, they've got a little bit of a motivation-wise to win. There is a prize pool that of Tom Denchel Auto Group is putting in each and every week for the ARCA series. It started out at the beginning of the playoffs, $25 to the winner. That was an actual registered ARCA driver. And since we've seen Sean Breitzman and Jeff Stabnow win, it keeps on getting added to the total. So right now, if we see an ARCA regular win tonight, they will be finding themselves $75, a little bit richer. And that is from the Tom Denchel Auto Group that is putting in that, giving these drivers a chance to get some money to the drivers and giving a little bit more incentive to come in each and every week to come out and race. So these drivers, certainly got motivation, that of Jeff Stabnow and Sean Breitzman, to try to make that pot a little bit bigger, because if they find themselves winning, the pot goes from $75 to an ARCA regular to $100 next week. And if it continues on of a non-ARCA regular winning each and every week until that final race, the pot could be up to $200 to an ARCA regular that could win that race.
In a very nice way, here comes the money. Yes, we're back here, Atlanta Motor Speedway. The field is gritting. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Let's introduce the starting lineup in what will be the final race in the round of 12 to advance the round of 8. Winner last week at Iowa, Billings, Montana, Jeff Stabnow. He's on the pole. To the outside, Indianapolis winner Sean Breitzman, row 1. Row number 2 on the grid, we'll find Stephen O'Hare in the 41 machine to his outside. Clifford, Toby Ritters. Row number 3. On the grid here tonight, Kevin Smith as well, alongside Robert Gamble in the 54 machine. And starting on row number 4, the Catman James Vining, Judd Wakefield will be on row number 4 to the outside in the 50 machine. Row 5, Ryan Bloom in the 25. Of your top 10 is Ray Fournier will start 10th. Row number 6 on the grid, we'll find Troy Daggett of the 51 machine. Bug Eyes, 71. Aaron Cooper, he's ready to go. He'll start 12th. Starting 13th, Russ Lundberg with the flashy shark hair is ready to go in the inside of row 7. And the legend, Frank Harris in the 11 machine. Big Daddy will start in 14th. Final starter is going to be Tyson Daggett in the car, number 52. So there's the starting lineup. Field will come to the green flag. And how about that, Samuel? Jeff Stabnow sporting the superstar racing experience. And I enjoyed doing what I got to do with Speed 51 and on the SRX series, talking with Ray Evernham and Tony Stewart and Bill Elliott. Speed 51 TV did a phenomenal job covering what they did with it, along with CBS. And I'm looking forward to them coming again in 2022. Look at that car, the 24 machine to the outside, the Lowe's primer color, if you will, of Jimmy Johnson. And that's the 46 of Sean Breitzman. By the way, he won that, he ran that car in the All-Star race in 2011 at Charlotte Motor Speedway with those primer colors just like that in the NASCAR Nextel All-Star Challenge. The field is ready. Green flag goes in the air. Samuel Dyer, we are ready. Racing ARCA style. Happy birthday into turn 1. It's Sean Breitzman. Here comes Jeff Stabnow back to the bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race.
Yeah, Jeff Stab now, great launch for himself. Our front three single filed out, and it's Toby Ritters trying to defend, and will lose that battle to Kevin Smith, who's going to fall up into 4th place. But up front, Jeff Stab now, Sean Breitzman keeping it close with one another, and almost making a little bit of contact. There's the 46. Again, the legend and the colors, they are not the official legends of how the drivers are going to be looking for this series. We'll give you updates throughout the night on where drivers lie that are trying to make it into the top 8 in points. After tonight, we go from 12 that are in the playoffs down to 8. But up front, it's Sean Breitzman and also that of Jeff Stab now leading the way as they continue to roar into turn number 3, Wesley.
Jeff Stab now, the man out in front. Remember, he is outside the top 12. And he's not even a contender for the championship right now. You see, of course, Breitzman, O'Hare, Smith, Bloom, and 31.81 the last lap turn by Jeff Stab. Now, I'll tell you what, Samuel, he's coming after him hot and heavy, getting things started as Stab now and Breitzman pulling away a couple of car lengths down to turn 3 on the inside.
Yeah, both drivers just pulling away the best that they can, trying to get away from the pack that's behind them. Currently, we're watching the battle that's going on for 7th place. Ryan Bloom, Troy Daggett. Troy Daggett, this 51 team comes in 9th in points. And because of that of Carl Burke not showing up, the 51 now gets moved into that 8th spot in points. So Troy Daggett needing a solid run for himself and hoping to beat out that of Aaron Cooper and Judd Wakefield to make sure the 51 makes it to the next round.
Watching them as they work their way back across the start-finish line to the lap of the board. Back to turn 1. Stab now is the man out in front. We're watching now Ryan Bloom holding on to that number 7 spot. More close-in depth on Troy Daggett, 51 machine. Those cars, Samuel, will battle off of the back straightaway now as they're trying to reel in James Vining, the Catman, if you will, across in the 3rd turn.
Yeah, and James Vining, he's been a driver that's been talking a lot to me, feeding me information about how these drivers have been trying to attack this setup throughout the week. Drivers early on felt like this setup, as this is a fixed setup, everyone is running in the same car, same setup. It's all about your driver skill and how well you can serve those tires. So James Vining really was talking about how it felt like this track, the hotter it got, the tougher it was to run. And the drivers had to be careful about their tires and how much they were wearing down on them. Fuel-wise, they could go about 60 laps or so, but the tires almost blew up on them around 55 laps into a run, so they couldn't make that full stint if they were just being aggressive at all times. So we'll see if the 333 throughout this week, how much has he learned to continue on as James Vining comes in 5th in points, and he is actually tied with 5th with Toby Ritters. So the 333, one of the drivers to watch out for. He could be making it into that of our final 4 if he can make it through our round of 8 that starts here in 2 weeks. But Toby Ritters, this 23 team, 5th place currently on track. Wesley, he's doing a great job currently.
Yeah, we're watching him right now as they come across the line. Toby Ritters, man, he has really improved in the last month, I have to say. I love that metallic primer color number 23, the majestic paint job, if you will, on that 23. It's so sharp how it goes from a cherry red, if you will, to a dark red, candy apple red. It's making me hungry. I'm not craving beer. I'm craving snacks at a carnival looking at that car. Caramel apples, exactly. Man. Thank you.
Caramel apples and a cherry. Oh, man, that would be really good right now. Late night snack as we ride on board with that of Toby Ritters. And, Wesley talking about how well Toby's been getting and consistent he's been doing. Well, he comes in having 5 top 5s, 15 top 10s. And with those 15 top 10s comes in actually tied for 4th of the best average of getting a top 10 finish. So, hey, that 23 team doing a great job as we move back up front. Sean Breitzman getting a little bit closer to that of Jeff Stab now. And also, got to watch out for the 41, Stephen O'Hare. He's finding a little bit of speed for that Beaver State Racing team.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on them as they watch their way back around. Beaver State Racing has done really, really good in the last couple of weeks. And We'll watch them as they come down the back straightaway from this fan view now to the third turn. And I've actually been on that type of angle at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Very similar there, Samuel. That's normally where they put us on a perch to call the radio call at Atlanta Motor Speedway from the back straightaway, if you will, off of turn number 2 when they go to turn 3. And then you let the tower pick it up back at the front straightaway at Atlanta. And, of course, there you see the Beaver State machine. Awesome camera angle there as you watch them off that second turn. I've always said this, Samuel. Atlanta Motor Speedway on iRacing, I think, offers some of the most coolest camera angles of any track.
Oh, it really does. I mean, I feel like most tracks, I know they continue trying to update it week in and week out, but man, the dynamic different camera rigs and setups that we have out in the fans in the grandstands, in the back stretch in the grass, as well as in the infield, you got different camera sets giving us this great view of the battle for first place. As we also go to our battle cam and on board with the 46 of Sean Breitzman on your right side. And what a run the 46 just got, and into the inside, going for the lead.
Going for the lead. We'll watch them as they work their way back around. Off of that corner, here comes Stab now up the racetrack. Breitzman on the inside. Couple of drivers of Team LSRTV at the stripe. Too close to call. To the left, the battle cam. To the right, on board, Sean Breitzman. He's on the inside. Driver left to Stab now as they go into the corner out of 2.
You can just tell these guys are having fun up front, but ooh, gotta watch out. There's just Stab now. Sean Breitzman almost making contact, but it's gonna be the 24 holding on. But that's the one thing, as the race develops, the older the tires get, running side by side like that, it's not gonna last for very long. But luckily, both drivers did not make contact, continue to run forward. It's Stephen O'Hare inching closer and closer each lap.
Back across. There's the Beaver State Racing Machine, the 41, Stephen O'Hare, as they work their way down that back straightaway, lap 14 of 140. 200 miles, 140 laps. Remember, the Northwest Cup and Truck Series will be here on Monday and Wednesday of next week. And just like for ARCA Northwest tonight, it is crunch time for those as well, for those drivers to make it into the next round. Who's going to the round of 8 here tonight? As right now we're lap 15 of 140. Normally our aerial footage is presented by All-American Pools, but I'm understanding that they are having, well, during the production pre-test, they crashed the drone somewhere. That's all I know. That's
Honestly,
all I was
someone
told,
might
Samuel.
have
They crashed
a little
the drone.
bit of a miscalibration. Just sent it into the ground. They thought the wings were facing one way, went the other way, and we're left still. I mean, you touched on it. Atlanta at least has some of the best other cameras for us to watch the action, as Ryan Bloom catching up to that of James Vining. But yeah, I mean, Wesley, it's okay that we don't have the drone cam. Yes, it'd be nice if we get a wreck, but hey, we still got these amazing ones. As a great view from the spotter stand up high and getting to still see all the drivers in line currently and playing nice. As luckily the drivers up front, that is Sean Breitzman and Jeff Stabnow, no longer side by side, but everyone else staying single file. And I think at this point, Wesley, it's more of the drivers racing themselves more than the drivers around them, because you got to save these tires with how hot this track is.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words here. Drone crashed. We don't have our aerial coverage. So much for the, through the field. It's gone. So, anyhow, we have what we have, okay? We have all these awesome camera angles except high above. Do we have an airplane camera? That's the question. Can we show the track 35,000 feet above sea level? Okay, that'll work. I'm a smart actor. I'm sorry.
We got our space cam footage to show to you.
Yeah, that's close enough. All right, back to the actions. We're on lap 18 of 140. As Sean Breitzman leads, there is O'Hare trying to reel in Jeff Stabnow, if you will, as they go back to turn number 1. Pretty quiet, clean race. Look how banked that track is from the gyro cam. Riding on board with Stephen O'Hare. Remember, Stephen O'Hare won a wild race at Talladega to put himself in the Cup Series playoffs. And looking good right now in that number 41 machine there, Samuel, on the inside of Jeff Stabnow.
Yeah, he's on the inside, but for that of Stephen O'Hare, he's a little cautious. It looks like that of Jeff Stabnow, he's burnt off his tires. There's so much heat built up that when he tries to get back onto the throttle on the exit, the rear end keeps on snapping on the 24. And now you see O'Hare, he really has to back off. He had to actually get on the brakes just slightly as you're going to get completely off the throttle to make sure he didn't run over Jeff Stabnow. And for the 41 that we're riding on board with, they've got to be careful because the fastest car on track currently is the two drivers behind these guys. Kevin Smith, Toby Ritters, they're one of the fastest drivers on track. And the 00 now attacking, trying to go for fourth place, and there he goes.
Back across the line into turn number 1. Watch him at speed. As there you see Kevin Smith from Hermiston, Washington. The driver that is the competitor of the Northwest, doing really good. And with big thanks to Tom Denchel Automotive Group. There goes Toby Ritters. I lost my place down to the inside. Here comes out at 41. He closed in again. Ritters trying to get after O'Hare. This is a nice battle now. Samuel heating up for third. But again, we do want to thank Kevin Smith. He's up to third. Tom Denchel Automotive Group. And we appreciate them so much for their involvement in the Northwest Series.
Oh, a massive thanks to Tom Denchel for sure. They have got inventory. If you're looking for a vehicle, you can order online or go in person for Tom Denchel Auto Group. And right now, Toby Ritters, what a run that he's showing. And right now, the 23 as well as the 00, one of the fastest cars on track. But they've now, when they were by themselves, they were one of the fastest cars. But the issue is when you catch up to someone, that dirty air slows you down, as well as when you're trying to make a pass, you need to get into the throttle, get a little bit more aggressive, which means when you were all saving your tires and being patient, they're now being burnt off and you're losing ground to the drivers in front of you. As you're seeing a cluster of drivers closing in with one another. Our first back to 7th is closing in as Ritters trying to make the pass on O'Hare once again.
Look at this battle going back to turn 1. Ritters on the inside. Outside is O'Hare. Up the racetrack, Ritters on the bottom. He'll try to close in half a car length. He's going to carry Ryan Bloom with him to the back straightaway. We are working on 25 laps this time by as Sean Breitzman leads the way. Jeff Stabnow second. Kevin Smith is third, and look at him trying to go 3 wide. If Ritters can get Bloom to his inside, he threw the block on the 25, and O'Hare is now on the binders as they go to the inside back to turn 1. Ritters going for 2 for 1 as he goes after the man in turn 2.
A bunch of trust for Toby Ritters from his spotter booth saying, hey, we got space, make the move. And honestly, I think a lot of help has to go for Ryan Bloom, who recognized, hey, I got to back out, make sure I don't get into any type of trouble here as the 41 up into the outside wall, and watch out, O'Hare almost getting into Ryan Bloom there for a second.
25, lap 25 completed, working now lap number 26. Back into the corner, into 1 and 2. There is Ryan Bloom's machine, Monster Energy number 25. Let's be honest, Samuel, he really did not have, it's been kind of an up and down season for Ryan Bloom, okay? At least on the Northwest Cup and Truck Series. His big success is when he came out on the spotlight for the, I want to say it was the truck race on dirt, or the cup race on dirt at Bristol. You know, he really did well in those.
Yeah, he really did shine and come out, and I think with those dirt races at Bristol, it was a lot more of a survival game. And watching Devin West just dominate, that's really what those Bristol races turned into. As I saw the pass for second place, Kevin Smith able to move forward on Jeff Stabnow. But yeah, I mean, Ryan Bloom, Cup and Trucks, you're right, he's been kind of having an up and down season. But here in the ARCA side, this 25 machine coming in has the most wins out of everyone in this series. 5 total, 15 top 5s, 18 top 10s. That's the most in all of those charts. This 25 coming into the playoffs, one of the favorites to win the championship. and right now has a chance just by starting this race, actually locked himself into the next round because of how many points he had. So for that of Ryan Bloom, feeling comfortable and confident for himself moving forward as we see the 25 trying to figure out how to get by that of Toby Ritters for that 4th place position.
Off of turn 4 here at Atlanta. The round of 12 finale. Who's going to the round of 8? We'll have it for you next Friday night. ARCA Northwest. There's no stopping these guys. Who will be the one that will hoist the championship there? Sean Breitzman. Sean Breitzman is the leader in that number 46 machine. There you see him. Of course, he won the Samuel, he dominated the race in Indianapolis.
Yeah, it was a lot of dominating. But hey, we as you can see over there, if you would like to become a new league or event, join us and you want to have LSRTV covering you. We are the only, I should say, 4K Ultra HD production on iRacing. And hey, message us on LiveSimRacingTV.com for more information and to get your league or event raced and covered by us on LSRTV.
That's exactly right. So again, go to LiveSimRacingTV.com to get yourself a quote. And by the way, it's a little enticement. We are the only current broadcast of iRacing in 4K Ultra HD. Samuel, what is 4K Ultra HD for people that might not know, so I don't have to Google it like I did on a football radio broadcast last night?
Yeah, 4K Ultra HD means there's more pixels, and it allows you to see a much higher definition quality of the picture that you're seeing. Most people that have 4K, it's on their TVs, or if you have a 4K monitor for yourself.
No, I said
but it
I don't
just
need
allows
you.
the quality to be amazing out here.
Google's trying to activate and talk. I don't need you, Google. That is all. Samuel gave us the answer. Go away. I said Google and it woke up. I'm sorry. I thought it was trained to say, oh, yeah, never mind. If I say okay, Google, he'll activate. No, I don't need you.
I mean, you just got to say all the different Androids that are out there, man. They really can just carry. You can just say the simplest words. You don't even actually have to say the right words, and it'll pop up sometime.
Have you ever been, we got pit stops here. Have you ever, as we got green flag pit stops going on, Samuel Dyer, here comes Stephen O'Hare onto the pit lane. But have you ever, been able, watching TV, watching a movie, watching a program, and maybe the Google commercial comes on, or somebody actually mentions the word Google, and your phone activates? That's happened to me.
I think that was a major issue when all that technology was coming out. They actually had to put updates for all those Alexa, Google, all those systems, so that the TV wouldn't do it as often, because it was doing it so often, where people would actually say,
versions of maximum overdrive.
Yeah, they would say, hey, Alexa, or hey, Google, buy this item. On the TV, they would be saying it, and then their item would actually, their system would actually buy it. And it became a big issue, but they fixed it up. Stephen O'Hare, this is an unscheduled stop for the 41 as we move back up to see Kevin Smith in second place, catching up to our leader. But Stephen O'Hare, we saw back around lap 24-25, getting into the outside wall. The 41 had to come in, get repairs done, also took fuel and tires. But this is an early stop. We were expecting a lot of these drivers coming in around lap 45 to 50 was the window we were looking for. So this is a very early stop for this 41 team that might have to be forced into a 3-stop strategy if this race continues to stay green.
There we go. So we'll see how this all transpires as we're on lap number 35 of 140. Honestly, you want to be honest, we're 1/4 of the way through, because lap 70 will be halfway. Lap 110 will be 3/4 of the way. Lap 140 will be the official distance. So we are currently halfway through the scheduled distance here, or at least 1/4 of the way. Sean Breitzman leads. There you see the 41 of Stephen O'Hare. I do not know why we are showing a car a lap down, or unless he's trying to find his way back to the field. He comes after Aaron Cooper, Bug Eyes there in 71. He'll clear him.
I mean, showing a little bit of Yeah, I mean, showing the major
You don't
difference of
never
fresh
show
tires
nobody in the
against
back.
new
Give me some
ones.
love.
As the battle for the lead, Kevin Smith, the driver that we've seen, he's won 2 or 3. Is oh boy, Breitzman got to be careful with that outside wall. But Kevin Smith, he's won 2 or 3. I think he's won 2 of the mile-and-a-half courses. So this 00 knows how to get it done when we go to mile-and-a-halfs. Atlanta, one of the mixtures of mile-and-a-half courses, and right now, Kevin Smith head of steam out of turn number 4, side by side across the line as we go to on board with the 00, and you get to see our battle cam on the left side as Wesley Smith is looking good as he's up to the lead.
Kevin Smith inside, getting around Sean Breitzman. Breitzman will battle back as they work their way again out of turn number 3 and 4, down to the inside. Kevin Smith up the racetrack. There goes Breitzman, Lowe's 46. Wow, what a move down to the inside. He just can't shut the door on him as they go back to turn 1. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this right now is showing the driver that wanted to be aggressive early on of Sean Breitzman. He actually put down the fastest lap of the day, but that was back. Oh, he's into the wall is the 46, and he's still into the wall, losing ground. Exactly what we saw from that of Stephen O'Hare. But with Sean Breitzman being so aggressive early, he is hurting his long run speed in having the grip to just run on the racetrack. As talking to Sean Breitzman and Jeff Stabnow earlier when they got to touch this course, they felt like once the tires got a lot more wear into them, they felt like they just could not take these corners. We might have to see the 46 coming to pit road here shortly if he continues to have these struggles on the outside as he moves. Hey, let's go to the inside where maybe I'll find a little bit more stabilization for my car.
There is Jeff Stabnow as he currently is in 4th. Toby Ritter's in the Chevrolet Impala 23 coming after him. And I must say, Sammy D, Toby Ritter's has just got better and better and better week in and week out.
Yeah, he really has. Each week we're seeing him, having a lot more of a top 10 type of a run for himself, and periodically coming in and getting top 5 finishes as you see the tire difference of a driver that pitted about 10 laps ago of Stephen O'Hare pressuring and just now having to cut his way through as Breitzman falls back even more. This is kind of a worst case scenario, a lapped car with fresh tires cutting their way while the lead pack drivers up front are duking it out.
Watching them battle here off of turn number 2, and around we go as now Ryan Bloom in 2nd spot. And he will set his sights on Smith. There is Sean Breitzman, Jeff Stabnow. There's Bloom. You see a little peek of him now, about a second back to the leader. 3 wide, Ritter sideways, third tracking his Ritters. He'll save it, he'll back off. Will he stick it 3 wide as they go to turn 1? No, he will not. That could have been scary, Samuel Dyer. They hold it together, though.
Oh, absolutely. If Toby Ritters got loose, got into the grass, that would have been taking out both Sean Breitzman and Jeff Stabnow easily. But luckily, Ritter stayed on the asphalt, continued moving forward. As you see our front runners that were dominating the first 25 laps of this race, Jeff Stabnow and Sean Breitzman, they went from the lead, having over a second and a half over the rest of the field. Now they're struggling just to stay in the top 5 as Jeff Stabnow in 4th, Sean Breitzman in 5th. But James Vining, the Catman, the 333, right there, ready to pounce on the 2 drivers that might have learned in this first stint. Oh, we don't have to be as aggressive as we were trying to get up front, maybe save our tires for the longer stint. Woo!
Look at James Vining. The Catman has got loose. The cat is on the loose, and he is on the prowl, running down Ritters. Pit stops are ongoing, by the way. Here comes Kevin Smith wrecking on pit road. Oh, my goodness. Right in front of Stabnow and Frank Harris. They miss him, and we still stay green.
He was our leader coming into pit road. Smith, heavy contact. Luckily, he does have a fast repair if he decides to use it now. And also, luckily, for Kevin Smith. He does have that win. He's automatically moving on to the next round as we take a Pulse Poppers instant replay of this incident. Just pit road at Atlanta, one of the harder tracks because of how much tire wear gets burnt off. When you get onto the brakes and you lock them up, you do mistakes like that into the inside pit wall, and luckily no one else was involved with that incident.
And no problems for anyone else. Kevin Smith, though, going to lose valuable time on the pit lane as more cars are already pitting. Sean Breitzman, Toby Ritters. Daggett is in. There goes Vining the Catman. He is coming in now, giving up second spot. By the way, still no caution. We're 47 laps into this event. No yellow flag yet.
Yeah, and people might be wondering, why wasn't there a yellow thrown for that Kevin Smith incident? Because he was off the racing surface and on pit road. Any spins or contact that is made needs to be an admin thrown caution from one of the drivers or someone that is watching and being race control. iRacing itself will not throw a caution for that type of an incident, so that's why there was no yellow thrown for that, and we continue to stay green as up front, second place. Wesley, a driver we don't really see up front, but having a chance to be up front because of the way that, this pit road cycle's going.
Yeah, this is really interesting, Samuel, as we watch this sequence of pit stops ongoing. Now you only have, my friend, 4 cars on the lead lap, as Troy Daggett is now the top dog in that Chevrolet number 51, the Mountain Dew colors, as he works his way off of turn 4. Lundberg has not pitted. Neither has Ray Fournier pitted yet. And Stephen O'Hare has not pitted. When they pit, Stephen O'Hare has pitted, my apologies. Stephen O'Hare did pit. So it's only Daggett, Lundberg, and Fournier. Now, when they do pit, it will cycle back around to Stephen O'Hare, as here comes Ray Fournier. He'll come down to the pit lane. And honestly, Samuel, they're going to pit here within the next few laps. They have to.
Yeah, the furthest they can go fuel-wise is around 60 laps, but their tires, because this is a full green flag run that we're doing, a lot of these drivers are slipping and sliding all over the place. They are expected to come into pit road at any moment now in these next 10 laps if you're stretching out as long as possible. And, stretching it out this far, there's some pros and cons to it. You get to get a great, fresh set of tires. You're going to be running faster than everyone else that has already pitted. But you're losing so much time by staying out on these older tires while everyone else is catching up to you that it's kind of not worth staying out this long. But Troy Daggett and also that Lundberg are going to be staying out as long as possible. But drivers are unlapping themselves already. Jeff Stabnow, and now, as you see, Toby Ritter is going to be unlapping himself and moving forward. Toby Ritters, he's a driver to watch out for, this 23, because of the mistake that we saw from Kevin Smith. The 23 is looking like a prime person that if he can continue to save his tires on the longer run, we could see Clifford in victory lane at the pace that he's going if we continue to stay green.
Could tonight be the night for Clifford? Big dog 23. I know that Rose and the entire family of the Ritters family would be cheering him on, rooting him on, saying, go get him, go get him.
Right now, watching Toby Ritters working the outside line. I think right now, for that of Toby, let Breitzman go. If he's really pressuring this hard, you don't need to use up your tires. We've seen if you're willing to just wait, let everyone else be aggressive, you can catch back up to the drivers that are aggressive in the first 20 laps of a run. As right now, still, Troy Daggett and also Lundberg are top 2 that we're waiting to see when they're going to be coming into pit road, as they are continuing to stay out. Stephen O'Hare pitted back on lap 32, so that's why he finds himself ahead of that of Jeff Stabnow. But Wesley, they continue to stay out, and they're losing ground, and more drivers are unlapping themselves. This is a very gutsy call for Troy Daggett, one of the drivers that's trying to make sure he stays in the top 8 coming into this race.
Lap 54 of 140, 16 to halfway and we still await Troy Daggett and Lundberg to come to the pits, and I think Lundberg's coming in now. He's on the pit lane. Lundberg will give up second, as O'Hare will now sequence to second, and everyone else will bypass him. The 129 of the pit lane. When will Troy Daggett come in, Samuel? It can't be for long, and here he comes right now. Troy Daggett on the pit lane, cycle it back around, and give the lead to Stephen O'Hare again in 41.
Yeah, I think for Troy Daggett, recognizing, hey, I can't stay out any longer already. Enough drivers have unlapped themselves. I might blow a tire if I continue to stay out. It's a 51 coming into pit road as the 129 just leaving his pit stall. And, as this run continues on, the question is, how will all the drivers adapt moving forward? But right now, Wesley up front, it's Stephen O'Hare leading the way with over a 6-second lead currently, but it is dwindling quickly as Jeff Stabnow coming with a head of steam. Having 12-lap fresher tires is the 24, but we're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll see. Will Jeff Stabnow be close enough to make the pass, or can the 41 defend himself before he has to come into pit road? You won't miss a thing. Side-by-side action here for the Northwest ARCA Series on LSRTV.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland, the face with the voice of the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League that you hear simulcasted on the Community Radio Network. And that's what we want to tell you about. We are excited to continue the partnership of covering esports on CRN, just like we do with all the other broadcasts that I cover in real life, like MAV TV, Short Track America, Speed 51 TV, Fox Sports Radio for college, high school sports. The Community Radio Network does the same thing. In addition to broadcasting real athletics, we're excited to be the radio voice of LSRTV's coverage of the Northwest Cup and Truck Series presented by Tom Denchel Automotive Group, the American iRacing League, and special events along the way. It's very simple. On your web browser, laptop, tablet, or cell phone, go to wearecrn.com, click on play, and you are able to keep up with the action. It's very simple. The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Check us out when you can. Esports coverage from LSRTV on CRN, the Community Radio Network, wearecrn.com.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal, managing a team here in the dealership, is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Northwest ARCA Series. It is playoff racing action, the last race of the round of 12 to see. From this 12 that are in the playoffs, only 8 get to move on to still have a shot to win the championship for the ARCA Series. Up front, currently, Stephen O'Hare made a very early undercut pit stop, finding himself up front. But soon catching him is Jeff Stabnow, who's about to make the pass here probably in the next 1 to 3 laps. My name is Sam Dyer. With me is Wesley Outland. Wesley, we got to see a lot of different perspectives on when they wanted to come into pit road. Right now, the early pit stop working great for Stephen O'Hare, but everyone else slowly catching up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, everybody's settling in. This is a long race, 200 miles, 140 laps. We've not had a yellow flag yet. We just had a cycle of green flag pit stops. And honestly, Samuel, that just spreads everybody out again. The interval is now from the leader, Stephen O'Hare, all the way down to almost 25 seconds. Lundberg and Smith, cars that led earlier, are now a lap down. Riding, driving, I don't know. Will we get a caution? I think it's highly doubtful. Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, I think Iowa went caution-free last week, didn't it, for the ARCA event? So
yeah, there's been a lot of caution-free racing in the ARCA series, which has been great to see. I mean, this is a series that was meant for development. The ARCA series was to help drivers get more track time, get more adequate racing, and hearing from some of the drivers that are more so battling for championships and have won in the Cup and Trucks, they've said the ARCA cars sometimes get to be actually tougher than the Cup and the Trucks throughout the week. But Wesley, the battle for the lead, it's on.
O'Hare inside. Stabnow outside. This is for the lead here as we approach halfway. Inside O'Hare, open the door. Here comes now Stabnow. They're battling. We saw this between Breitzman. Hey, speaking of Breitzman, he is right there. Behind him, you saw the little fender of the car, the front nose. He's going to make it a three-car battle for the lead as they work into turn number 3.
Yeah, the aggression that we're seeing. Again, O'Hare pitted back on lap 32, while that of Jeff Stabnow and Sean Breitzman pitted around lap 44 to 45. So a 12-13 lap difference on your tires, and it is massive. Stephen O'Hare at one moment had 11-second lead over Jeff Stabnow and the rest. And right now O'Hare just praying that he can hold off as Breitzman getting a little squirrely, getting back on the throttle, trying to get underneath the 41, touched the apron for a second there, but now deciding the outside lane might be a better place to go. So 41 drifts up. Oh, bit of a scary moment, but out of turn 4, Sean Breitzman, better launch, gets that pass for second, and now eyeing Jeff Stabnow for the lead.
And they're all single file. Look at Jeff Stabnow. Okay, so I'm an optimist. I kind of rag Jeff Stabnow because a win is a win and a win. I understand that. He's won on the ARCA series. He won last week at Iowa, as a matter of fact. Now he's trying to go for 2 in a row.
Well,
but
that's
he
not a way to
hasn't
do
won
it.
on the Northwest Cup or Truck Series. And as I say something about him, he slips up and he lets Sean Breitzman get around him. Oh, never mind. I digress.
Yeah, Jeff Stabnow up, I believe, yes, he did make contact with the outside wall, and his 2014 went from leading to now falling back. But don't look now. Wesley, the man that I threw out, has a good shot of winning this race if we stay green, just because of his patience right now, which has been incredible. Toby Ritter's just made the pass for third. Clifford's coming, and he's coming with a head of steam. Fastest car on track is the 23 Bud Machine.
Ritter's inside. Here comes Toby. Clifford, look out. He's ready to just chomp you all up. Seriously.
I mean, what a run from Clifford right now. Up to third, up one position from where he qualified. And that last lap, he's a little bit faster than Jeff Stabnow in front of him, and just about 100th or 2 off of Sean Breitzman. But right now, our top, 3 within a second and a half of one another, and could get even closer as they continue to rage. Sean Breitzman going to be up front. And as we come into lap number 70, Wesley, we're expanding here on LSRTV. We're so excited for 2022. We know it's going to be a big year, but we're going to the Sim 500.
I am so excited that the 10 Service Cup Series, Sim 500 Racing League, the Trans Service Cup Series, is coming to LSRTV in 2022. I am so many years been friends with Joey Katina. I've seen his success in virtual, but also in real life with ARCA. He is an awesome friend in Alabama. I am looking forward to being lead announcer with the Sim 500 Cup Series League. And I'll tell you what, Samuel, you want to talk about business picking up. This is going to be some awesome racing. Some of the best drivers, virtual or reality, could pop in. This series in the past has had even NASCAR Cup drivers make an appearance as well. So you never know what we'll see. Looking forward to the Sim 500 Trans-Service Cup Series. It starts in February on LSRTV.
Yeah, and it's going to be Monday nights. Actually, going to be the prelude to the Northwest Cup Series. It's double cupping going on. It's going to be going on for Monday nights, and excited for how the driver is going to attempt there. But man, up front is Sean Breitzman, who got a little bit of a scare coming out of turn number 4. This 46 not feeling the most comfortable right now, as this track, it is continuously evolving. As we touched on it earlier, the weather was going to be a factor to watch out for, and it is certainly something that's going to be changing. And I think for right now, Sean Breitzman up front doing everything in his power to continue to just race hard, but the drivers behind him, Jeff Stabnow, Toby Ritters, they are also favorites that could come back and try to challenge.
We watch Sean Breitzman working his back away around the racetrack again as they come back off of turn number 4. Sean Breitzman, such a strong car. As they work back off across the start-finish line. Still a lot of racing left to go, though. Stabnow, Ritters, all looking good. And we're ready for the second half of this race.
And since we've just gone past halfway, we're going to also bring ourselves up into the booth and get a good action. As Wesley, we are seeing a great race here today. It's your Tom Denchel mid-race report. Wesley, we have been watching, and we thought maybe we're going to be seeing a lot of wrecks, but it's been clean and green all the way through so far.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because of the fact that there's not many cars out here, or there's just the respect factor going on. You know, I figured we're at hot Atlanta. The track temperature's hot. You're going to be using up your tires. Definitely going to be aggressive because this is the final race in the round of 12 to make it in the round of 8. But they've let me down. This has been a fairly quiet race. It's been calm. I think I'm jinxing myself because there might be some fireworks here at the end. But, you know, what a good show we've seen so far. But I will say this, though, Samuel. It's good to see Sean Breitzman and Jeff Stabnow, and even Toby Ritters as he's trying to run down Jeff Stabnow for second up in the front. It's been a good race.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Toby Ritters pressuring Jeff Stabnow, and now going to be making the pass finally for second place. But yeah, I mean, Toby Ritters, he is looking very promising to have a great run and a possible win here. The other driver that was up front for a moment before being involved with green flag pit stops, Kevin Smith, I mean, he was up front leading this race before coming in pit road, gets caught up with locking his brakes, getting heavily damaged. The 00, a driver that I thought had a really good shot to win. But speaking about jinxing, I might have jinxed him by saying that he was my unofficial pick for today's race. But luckily, he already won at the Indy Road Course, so he's locked in for the next round in the round of 8. But Wesley, here it is the final round. I mean, the final race of the round of 12. Getting to see who moves on. And honestly, I'm excited to see how the rest of this race goes because there's still a lot of pressure on a lot of these drivers that are running further back that need to have a resurgence if they want to make it to the top 8.
And that's the thing. If there is going to be any type of drivers that can have a bad day, it's guys like, of course, Kevin Smith. You know he's punched his ticket into the next round. All these other contenders, they need to be competitive. And I'm looking on the scoring pylon. Sean Breitzman in the points. He looks good. O'Hare's doing good. Bloom's doing good. He was up there earlier. But honestly, there's still a lot of racing left to go here. I know we're just after halfway working around lap number 80, Samuel, but I really think the intensity is going to pick up. If there's a caution, we're going to see more cautions, and then that's going to make it really exciting to see who wants to be in the round of 8.
Oh, absolutely. And thanks for joining us in the booth. We're going to now go back to trackside. And a big thanks to Tom Denchel Auto Group for being the head sponsor of our mid-race report. As we got to see the action, Toby Ritters making the pass on Jeff Stabnow. And that was a very important pass for Toby Ritters because he's going for a shot to get a win. Toby Ritters is in the playoffs. Do want to give note, the colors that you are seeing on our ticker, that's for Monday night. That is not for tonight. So we're sorry for that mishap, but we do have our, a lot of drivers that are in the playoffs. We had our 12 2 of them did not show up, that being Carl Burke as well as Stephen Paulison. So there was a lot of room to be gained, but as I continued to look, another one of our favorites that was up front that can now move up to 3 drivers that didn't show up, Dennis Moore. He was 3rd in points. If he just showed up, he would have had enough points to move on to the next round in the round of 8. He's now banking on hoping that some of the drivers that were outside of the top 8 in points, like Aaron Cooper and Judd Wakefield, for them to have poor showings and finish practically last here tonight for the 44, to hope that he's got enough points to hold off and stay in our top 8. But he did miss tonight, and Wesley, that is a terrible moment to have, especially at Atlanta, which is the last race of the round of 12.
And tonight is this final opportunity. So again, as we mentioned, you mentioned guys like Burke and, Paulison. They shot themselves in the foot because they didn't show up. So they pretty much are eliminated. But look at guys like James Viney, looking good, looking strong. And here's the thing, Samuel. There was an olive branch extended where the ARCA Northwest Cup and Truck guys could run with the ARCA Northwest. And a lot of people might say, well, no, that's not fair. That's bringing in the big boys to hurt, But they don't see it that way, Samuel. They see it as obviously a practice session to get acquainted with the racetracks for the Cup and Truck Series, because normally the ARCA mimics what the Cup and Truck Series schedule. I'm getting tongue-tied here. They mimic what the Cup and Truck Series schedule is on Monday and Wednesday. And also, it lets these ARCA drivers step up their game. See if they can run with these big guys on the ARCA, on the Northwest Cup and Truck Series. And by the way, when you earn your kudos in ARCA, Samuel, you bump up to the next level of Northwest Cup and Truck.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen some of the top runners in the ARCA series coming up and having great runs. I mean, think of Kevin Smith. He's one of the drivers that actually won in the Truck Series and is locked into the next round for the Trucks, going into round number 8 as O'Hare into the wall once again for the 41, as he was trying to find himself getting by Troy Daggett and Ryan Bloom. But this 41 machine struggling right now, and I think the biggest issue was that Stephen O'Hare made his first pit stop back on lap 32. So it's been a long time since this 41 team was back in pit road, and he's looking to come in here shortly to get service done. He's been out there for 51 laps, and Wesley, we're expecting him to have to come in. The longest we saw of the other drivers that stayed out as long as possible, Troy Daggett only stayed out there for 41 laps. I mean, up to 54 laps, excuse me. So the 41, got to be concerned when he's going to be coming in.
That's exactly right. And we got somebody in. Kevin Smith is coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Smith coming in. I think he's recognizing, hey, just got to get service done on this double zero. He was a lap down. He's already locked into the next round. And going to be getting himself some service done. But this is not the run that Smith wanted to have at all. This double zero came in with a lot of speed and kind of was expected to have a shot to win the race. And after a mental error and a mistake on the pit road, now going to be getting service in. He'll be getting back out there, but multiple laps down as we see the double zero beating himself out of pit road.
How much for a race off pit road? one car, really? Happy birthday to me, Wesley. One car off the pit lane? No, our producer knows that I like the race off pit road camera. We don't have an above camera, but we got a race off pit road camera.
We had to make sure we had that happy birthday graphic at the start, so we had to cut budgets on other things.
By the way, I hope y'all do keep that up there. I hope y'all keep that up there in closing, because I was telling a friend of mine about that, and I want them to see it, because I was like, that is so cool. That's awesome. They did that for me. Oh, I'm gonna get touched. I'm gonna get teary-eyed. No, I'm playing. No, sincerely, guys, thank you.
I was like, Wesley's birthday is today. Wow, we need to make sure it is a special, at least intro, if not a whole entire thing. So I made sure, went to the graphics crew. We're like, we have a graphic, right? We got to make sure we've got one for Wesley, and got it done. But like we said, kind of threw the budget out on other things, so we didn't get that upper view of the drone cam. But in a pit road,
well, I mean, you can't mail me a cake. The cake will be destroyed by the time it got to North Carolina. So, by the way, I do want to thank Lands End, though. Lands End Apparel has provided us with some new LSRTV shirts. There you go. That's my birthday present, Samuel. I got some new LSRTV polos, and I'm wearing them right now. I was telling somebody that I feel like I'm going to the bat cave, if you will. I was telling my great friend Melissa, by the way, she gave me a Pittsburgh Steelers, what do they call it? A simple modern drink koozie thing. No, you don't like the Steelers. I get it, but I don't care. They have it's like a, what do you call these things, Samuel? It's like a drink thermos where it can be hot or cold, and it lasts for a long time.
I think thermos was the right word for it.
Okay, fine then. Yeah, thermos.
That was the only thing I could think of. Like keeping something hot and cold. I think that is a thermos.
Well, yeah, there you go. Exactly. So I'm very happy to be here.
And we're happy you're here, Wesley. I know you had a busy day with football on CRN, and that was I missed that
40
game.
40 to 18, by the way. They won. And I got racing for the rest of the weekend. So, yeah, they won. That was a great game in Raleigh. And to top it off, there's a Brooks and Dunn concert at the Coastal Credit Pavilion, Walnut Creek, like a mile from the friggin' football game. So we're calling the football game, and if we, just went mute for a few seconds, you would hear the sounds of Brooks and Dunn singing Neon Moon or Boot Scootin' Boogie or something in the process. So I'm not going to sing the words because I don't want to copyright to take away our broadcast, but I can mention the words. But, yes, that's why I was a little late getting here, Samuel, because traffic was unbearable. I can't believe so many people out there still like country music.
Hey, I'm a country person. I love country music. I might be from California, but I love country music. And that seems like the best way to have a football experience is having fun watching football and then periodically getting to hear a concert in the background. That sounds like a blast of a Friday night. And finishing it off, we're watching iRacing and watching these guys from the Northwest ARCA Series. Friday night racing, playoff action. Ryan Bloom, Troy Daggett side by side. And Ryan Bloom right now trying to hold off for what was 7th, now up to 6th, because our ticker moved just stab now into pit road for the 24.
And here comes Jeff Stab now. Don't take out the bushes. Is the pace car got the pace car lights on? Is he just like, okay, that's just like a mirage, if you will. That's like being stuck in the desert waiting for water. I'm just sitting here looking at the pace car, waiting for the pace car lights to come on.
He is prepared. The pace car was lied to. He was like, there's going to be a lot of cautions. We're prepared for this. It's not happening. Robert Gamble into pit road as well as Frank Harris. We're going to get an actual race possibly. This could be a race to see who gets out.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Is that what they always say, right? Is it?
That's Kyle Busch and
Marshall
Marshawn
Lynch
Lynch.
did it first, I believe. Yeah, Marshall Lynch. There you go.
Marshawn was just at the Super Bowl, and he's just there so he doesn't get fined. I feel.
And then Cam Newton kind of done the same thing at Super Bowl 50. He just said, "I don't care if anybody. I don't want to talk to none of y'all. Leave me alone." Here comes James Fighting. Hey, can we say the Catman's got a good run going for him tonight, Samuel? Seriously.
Oh, absolutely. James Vining trying to go for another consistent run for himself. I mean, for Vining as well for Toby Ritters, they're both tied for 5th place in points coming into this race, and both them looking for solid runs. And for that of James Vining coming into this race, 8 top 5s, 15 top 10s. I mean, you look at his ARCA stats, and James Vining's been having a very solid season for himself. And he's trying to move on with that consistency as Breitzman into pit road, Toby Ritters, Judd Wakefield, a lot of our front runners getting service done now.
That's right. Here they come. Ritters is in. Breitzman in. By the way, this is the second pit stop. So, Samuel, do you think they're going to be able to go this one more round of pit stop, or do you think this can let them go to the finish? Is this the money stop, you think?
This is officially the money stop. They can make it from here to the end, but we've also seen a lot of drivers getting extremely loose when they're side-by-side later in a run, so there's always going to be that looming question. Will there be a late caution? That could come out, but up front, It's going to be Troy Daggett, and also in second, it's the other Daggett that's going to be there. It's Tyson Daggett that's going to be in second place for the 52, as he's also running a Monster Energy drink scheme, and I'm liking that Monster Energy logo. The fact that it's chromed out compared to everything else, really showing off the logo right there.
I do. I like it. Look at this. We're coming up on lap 100, down to the final 42, some odd laps remaining. Got a couple of Monster Energy cars in the field. There's that 52 that Samuel was just talking about. All right, Samuel, what car looks better, the 52 machine that we just showed you? And, of course, that is the driver, the 52 machine of Tyson Daggett. By the way, why is there... Okay, there's Troy Daggett and Tyson Daggett. Okay, never mind. I had a brain fart for a second, but it all came back to me. Troy Daggett's in the 51, Tyson Daggett's in the 52. But Samuel, back to my what I was saying about Monster Energy. Which car do you like better, the 25 of Ryan Bloom or the 52 of Tyson Daggett?
I mean, I like Tyson's, but I got to go with the OG, sticking with the original green of Ryan Bloom. I really like the classic look, similar to what that of that of Kurt Busch runs on Sunday racing for NASCAR. Love the classic look, but I mean, this is a very unique look. I love the fact that the rims and the actual numbers are matching. That is a very detail that most drivers sometimes forget, that you can actually change the rim color on iRacing to match with your scheme. Great touch by the 52.
We're on lap 100 this time by 40 laps to go. Oh yes, look at this. We're excited to announce this one, Samuel. Tell everybody about it. It's going to be a fun time, the second annual Power Eye Midget Nationals.
It is your Pulse Poppers Power Eye Midget Nationals. Registration for the second annual of the Pulse Poppers Power Eye Midget Nationals. It is open today. You can register to be involved in one of the biggest events that we are going to have on that of LSRTV for 2022. And this is how we're starting out the year, and you want to be a part of it, go on, sign up. You can find it on Facebook. Our links on that of Power Eye, as well as on LSRTV on Facebook. You have to be involved in this one. And Wesley, this is going to be a fun event just to watch. And I am certainly excited to see these guys put on a show. And I believe this event's going to be at the start of January. So, hey, you got to register now, as it is coming up quickly.
And I cannot give away all the secrets because we still are continuously having meetings on production and how we're doing things. But I will tell you that there is a lot. Okay, I'm just going to go out and say this. This will be probably the most enhanced, produced production we've ever done in the history of live sim racing TV. There are so many plans, from pit reporters to booth announcers to hosts to graphics to commercials to just special starting lineups, special videos, all sorts of content. Samuel, I know you're on the team. I know I am. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and let everybody know I will be the host. I will be the host leading everybody on the ship of this. But I will tell you, Samuel, that the things we've talked about, this is really going to be the biggest undertaking production that LSRTV and Rocket Media has ever done.
Yeah, it is an all-hands-on-deck type of event, and we are excited to put it on. Big thanks to Power Eye for letting us be the broadcast team to cover this and try to make this the biggest event on iRacing to start out 2022 in January. It's going to be a big one. Again, registration is open, and it just opened today, so make sure you can log in, have your shot. Lots of cash to be thrown out, as well as just amazing racing action. Cannot wait for it. But looks like, Wesley, the pit cycle has gone through. It's Sean Breitzman up front. Jeff Stab now in second. James Vining going to be in third, the 333, shocking everyone by being up front. And Toby Ritter's issues. Caught speeding was the 23 on the money stop. He went from a favorite that had a shot if he just had the perfect pit stop and the perfect run to finish out the race. a mental error, snuffing out the 23 shot, and now he's back to 14.
Wow, what a heartbreak there. We're going to watch it. Man, that has got to be dismal. What will come of this as they are working now 33 laps to go. We're in the final 40 laps of this event. And as I told you, no visit by the Banana Republic flag whatsoever. We need one. Samuel, we need a caution. Throw your headset on the racetrack.
I'll throw a water bottle, see if we can get out there. I don't know if they're going to catch it. As I don't know if they're, imagine. I cannot wait for the new enhancements that are coming to iRacing. You never know. A random debris might be thrown out, but I know rain is soon to come to iRacing. That feature is going to change a lot. Rain is in the talks. It is coming to iRacing here. In the next couple of, we're just waiting on when they're going to launch it out, but that is something that a lot of people are excited to see. So could we technically have like a rain delay?
Could we have races get rained out?
That is what the joke has been going around. I mean, what a way that could change a dynamic, right? Because we know that we can see cloud cover coming, and the fact that you see a large cloud coming in, you get a report from a crew chief in iRacing saying, hey, rain's coming in the next 15 minutes. I mean, it could change how these drivers really think about attacking these courses, because you go from, hey, we got the whole entire race to figure out this thing. Oh, rain's coming. We're coming close to halfway. We got to make a quick decision if we want to come pit road or not.
All hands on deck, as they say, and if they're working on rain coming soon, thunderstorms. That's awesome, though. That's awesome to hear that.
Yeah, all the amazing things that are coming in. Big thanks. I mean, it's iRacing is putting in a lot of work on their side to make sure that every race is great. And also, I mean, I touched on earlier, but the update that they put here on Atlanta to allow multi-groove racing at a track that, in real life, it is so multi-grooved racing. I think, Wesley, you could touch on it more, watching a lot more of these Atlanta races. Multi-groove racing at this course is something that makes Atlanta so special to watch in real life.
Oh, yeah. The word precision banking is so widely popular, known here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway as we hit 30 laps to go this time by. And you see the field working off of turn 4. You see where that suite is? The offices of SMI at Atlanta Motor Speedway are right there. A matter of fact, I'm just kind of taken back because I remember this. Honestly, Samuel, and this is the honest truth, my friend, Atlanta Motor Speedway is a special place in my heart because this was the first track that I ever got to announce NASCAR at. Was at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 weekend in 2016. And I'll never forget Ted Alstead and Ozzy Altman being able to work with Ken Squire. People talk about veteran people like baseball players compared to John Smoltz or Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth comes to mind. You think of basketball players like LeBron James, or me personally, I'd rather meet Michael Jordan more. Kobe Bryant before he passed. In my opinion, Samuel, meeting Ken Squire was like meeting somebody of that caliber. Working with him was truly a humbling honor. And, one of the best. And just, this place is such an awesome track in my heart, Atlanta Motor Speedway. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing, Samuel. They're repaving the racetrack. You see videos and picture updates about it all the time. I think they're going to 31 or 32 degrees of banking, even bankier than it was here at 28 or 24 degrees. And I think it's going to be really, really cool for sure.
Yeah, I'm interested to see with the new configuration that they're building right now of how is Atlanta going to race, and is it going to be anything. It's going to be changing up a little bit more than what we're seeing now because the surface is going to be brand new. Not a lot of slipping and sliding in the tires, just being torn up because of how old the surface is. But I'm wondering how fast are these drivers going to be racing around one another because of that extended the more banking that we're adding and the more speed that these drivers can carry for themselves as we get to see the field and where they're running currently. watching that of Stephen O'Hare, a driver. I mean, Stephen O'Hare, what a rebound he's been trying to have. The issue for the 41 is he is most likely going to have to come back into pit road unless somehow he's saved enough fuel. He's going to be right on the edge. And Stephen O'Hare, he's 6th currently, but he's got Frank Harris, Troy Daggett. I mean, he's got Frank Harris behind him and also other company following suit. It is close, hard racing for the 6th place position, and there goes that of Harris to the inside as Toby Ritter follows right behind the 11 on the inside.
Yes, sir, coming after him. Harris down on the bottom of the racetrack, and that's lap cars in the way. He's in 6th, though, mind you. And here's the thing. He's not a lap down. He's on the tail end of the lead lap, so he is going to fight and claw and do everything he can to try to keep these other guys to not get around him. Harris is there, and he's going to give up the spot and come down to the pit lane. So O'Hare, whoa! That's about the most exciting thing we've seen all day besides Kevin Smith wrecking the pits.
The pit road's been the most dramatic place for sure. You don't know who's going to be able to make it in or not, and O'Hare, I think, recognized I'm just going to come into pit road. Came in, caught speeding, it looked like. He was very fast into pit road, and we'll see if he has to stay here longer than the usual 15 to 16 second window. If he's here longer than that, he was caught speeding. And at this point, I think Stephen O'Hare not really too flustered by that. I know he wished he had a better run. He got into the wall earlier. That kind of cost him a lot more time. Had to come into pit road early, which threw him completely off the stint of everyone else, where he had to make 3 pit stops. And O'Hare not in the playoffs. This is going to be his 6th start of the season in the ARCA series. And O'Hare, he has 1 win in this ARCA series. It was back for round number 7 of the regular season when we saw the 41 winning at Charlotte. So, it's okay. You can take your beatings, but I think for O'Hare, for most of these drivers, because it's an ARCA race Friday night, a lot of the eye is going to be focused on Monday and Wednesday on how well they're going to go moving forward. But Wesley, it's been a weird night for sure. For sure up with us with LSRTV.
It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. Oh, here you go. Well, you just saw some of the behind the scenes of Race on Texas. By the way, their big event, the Lone Star. You know, that's not. I'm mad at our producer because I was hoping to go to the Lone Star 600. It just didn't happen. Maybe next year. It's all right though. I forgive you. He said, "Forget you, Wesley. I didn't even get to go." Okay. Well, all right. That makes me feel a lot better because, yeah.
Yeah, I think if he went, we wouldn't be watching this. Would have been a little weird, but oh man, up front still Sean Breitzman up front dominating. Sean that of Jeff Stab now in 2nd place, 5.5 seconds back. But you know what? We're gonna give production LSR Studios a little bit of a break and ourselves a little bit of a break as we're gonna take one final step aside, and when we come back, this is certainly it's been clean and green. We'll see if it continues. We'll be right back here on LSR TV for the last race of the round of 12 to see who's moving on to the round of 8 here for the Northwest ARCA Series.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland, the face with the voice of the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League that you hear simulcasted on the Community Radio Network. And that's what we want to tell you about. We are excited to continue the partnership of covering esports on CRN, just like we do with all the other broadcasts that I cover in real life, like MAV TV, Short Track America, Speed 51 TV, Fox Sports Radio for college, high school sports. The Community Radio Network does the same thing. In addition to broadcasting real athletics, we're excited to be the radio voice of LSRTV's coverage of the Northwest Cup and Truck Series presented by Tom Denchel Automotive Group, the American iRacing League, and special events along the way. It's very simple. On your web browser, laptop, tablet, or cell phone, go to wearecrn.com, click on play, and you are able to keep up with the action. It's very simple. The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Check us out when you can. Esports coverage from LSRTV on CRN, the Community Radio Network, wearecrn.com.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. They've done a great job in really creating a full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers.
15 laps to go here in Atlanta to figure out who's going to be moving on to the round of 8 for the Northwest ARCA Series. My name is Sam Dyer with me, my name is Sam Dyer. With me is the birthday boy. It has just been a weird night, Wesley. I don't even know what's going on anymore. We've had just mistakes all over the place, and we're going to continue them on at this point.
And our producer's trying to kill me, making me laugh, choking my Pepsi. So I'm still alive, though. Here we go. Sean Breitzman is out in front. There is Jeff Stabnow. He's in second, 6 seconds back. 14 to go. Will we see a LRC, Samuel? That's the question. Or are we settled in for the finish?
Well, if we're going to see it, it's going to be probably between lead lap drivers and lap cars making contact to see James Vining. The 3:33, why not add another 3 in third place for that of the Catman, making the pass on Judd Wakefield. And it's been a huge shakeup of who's going to be up front battling with Sean Breitzman and Jeff Stabnow. Those two have been the odds-on favorite from the first, 10 to 15 laps of this race. And then we saw other drivers, poking their nose. We saw Stephanie O'Hare being up front, showing speed. We saw Kevin Smith showing some speed as well. You thought maybe Clifford, Toby Ritters had a shot to win this race, but every single one of them have had one little mistake. And Wesley, I look back to the mistakes that could have happened for Sean Breitzman and Jeff Stabnow. I think back to lap 30-35, they were side by side when Jeff Stabnow got sideways, almost taking out both Sean Breitzman and himself of Jeff Stabnow, but they held on, and that's been their only true mistake all race long. They've gotten to the wall a couple of times, but it hasn't been hard enough for them to lose any ground. It's the 46, the 24 up front. The question is, who can beat these guys? They've won the last 2 weeks and soon to make it 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and we'll have to keep an eye on that, man, because there's still a whole lot of exciting racing here left to go. We watch these guys working their way back across the start-finish line, and Sean Breitzman, I'm telling you, Samuel, you see these guys like Sean Breitzman, like Jeff Stabnow, like James Vining, Robert Gamble, Ryan Bloom, Frank Harris, all these guys taking advantage of this race here tonight and on the ARCA Northwest Series playoffs to better themselves for the Cup and Truck events on Monday and Wednesday night.
Yeah, and it's been one of those things of each week trying to just build on what you learned the week prior. How do you get yourself a little bit faster? And right now, it's been awesome to see this series of the ARCA Series, first season of the ARCA Series, the development Friday nights to allow drivers to get practice time, get more experience. This is the first race really of the week for this whole entire Northwest race iRacing series. because we have the Cup and the trucks. They race at the same track Monday and Wednesday night. And it's been awesome to see how, some of those drivers from this series, like that of Dennis Moore, also that of Kevin Smith and Ryan Bloom, all three of those drivers really have stepped up each and every week in the Cup and Truck Series. And they've been kind of the favorites coming into, the ARCA Series as we take a look at some of the closest battles on track. As you see Judd Wakefield, he's a lap car, but he is challenging the third place runner, James Vining, right now. Wesley, this has got to be frustrating as a lead lap car, seeing that he's being pressured by someone that's not for position.
Yeah, this is so interesting here. I mean, and funny, these lap cars, they're racing. They're not going to just give up position, Samuel. They're not going to just move out of the way. I mean, this is for, 8th position. Wakefield's in a top 10 race. He's not just going to lay over and let Ray Fournier pass him. And then you got Frank Harris that's just, getting by Wakefield by 22 seconds. But you normally don't see races where guys are in the top 10 a lap down, but this is just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, and you're looking at Judd Wakefield. He is kind of in a must gain every position possible for this 50 team. Judd Wakefield coming in 11th in points, and for that of Troy Daggett was a 6 points was the difference between those two drivers coming into this race. And Judd Wakefield, if he can have a good enough run, could be finding himself sneaking into the top end of the round of 8 because of seeing Carl Burke, who was 8th in points coming into tonight, and Dennis Moore, who was 3rd coming into tonight. Both drivers did not show up. They kind of left themselves out there for fate. Carl Burke, he was only having a 1-point advantage over the drivers behind him. Not going to be having enough points to hold off the field behind. Dennis Moore, though, had about 30-plus points, hoping that was going to be enough. But we're coming to 5 laps to go. The points are going to be very interesting on who's in and who's out, Wesley, which we might get that information later tonight, or we might get it next week. It's kind of a waiting game on that, but the points are going to be extremely close at the end of this race.
And I'll tell you, I am so surprised. I did not expect this race to turn out the way that it did. I mean, was that somebody was in our ear saying I did? I really didn't. I really thought that we would have craziness and wrecking and just people's tempers getting short and going at it. And no, that's not the case. I mean, this is 4 laps to go. The best of the best are up there. Samuel, you did hear me say, though, who my pick was. And look who is out in front, my friend.
Yeah, Sean Breitzman doing exactly what you were saying earlier, up front, dominating over. I mean, this is looking identical to the Indy Oval race, where Sean Breitzman just got the lead, pulled away, and never looked back. And a little bit of help from drivers making mistakes around the 46 and the 24, but Jeff Stabnow as well. Great run for themselves. And Wesley, with the potential Sean Breitzman getting the win here, that means the pot that was $175 going into next week, a ARCA regular. If they win, they will win $100 as well. Thanks to Tom Denchel for donating to the pot for the ARCA winners for the playoffs to allow these drivers to race it out for giving a little bit of incentive to come and race during the playoffs for the ARCA regulars. And for the non-regular drivers, for that of Breitzman and Jeff Stabnow, they're just coming to make sure that the pot just gets bigger and bigger the longer the season goes on.
So basically the money continues to just increase and increase and increase until the ARCA Northwest competitor gets it. 2 to go. To the line. The CRN 1 to go. Samuel Dyer. This is it. White flag.
Sean Breitzman up front, doing everything possible. If you would like to get more information, go to We Are CRN for great community coverage in the North Carolina area. And right now, look at Sean Breitzman doing perfect. Once he got that money stop done, it has been pulling away from the rest of the field. Jeff Stabnow tried everything. He tried undercutting. It wasn't enough. Sean Breitzman, the 46, rocking some Jimmy Johnson colors and gained his second ARCA win of the season. Got his first 2 weeks ago at the Indy Oval. Well, why not get it at the mile and a half at Atlanta? Sean Breitzman, a victor once again.
Winner is Sean Breitzman. Jeff Stabnow will finish second. James Vining will go third. And now we prepare for what will be, with now 7 cars in the lead lap, the Northwest ARCA high five salute. And a special one at that, because it's my birthday.
Oh,
Tear 'em
Wesley,
up,
it's your
boys.
birthday? It's your birthday, and the best damage model in iRacing, in my opinion. We get to see some carnage now. This kid's gonna be the best wreck of the night. Here we go.
By the way, Samuel, you realize I'm like 3 out of 4 in picks so far now, right? I picked Caden Anderson. I picked when Dan West Jr. won, and now, yeah.
I kind of went from, I'm going to go with the one that looks perfect to, I'm going to try a risky pick.
Happy birthday. Tear him up, guys. Oh, don't take out the pace car. Warning, warning, warning. The pace car is,
the tire's
the
gone.
pace car is, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Look out, guys. Oh, my goodness. Are they trying to take out the ambulance, the fire truck?
Leave the safety crew alone. They're there for your safety. They're not to get hurt.
They're there for your safety, to save your lives virtually. Like, seriously. Look at these guys. Look at them tear them up. Look at Jeff Stat. Jeff, there's a wall there.
I think you meant to hit the car and not the barrier.
Yeah, that's
He might also have some steering issues. Oh, please, someone. Jeff Stabnow needs to back up, and someone needs to just go. That is the perfect ramp.
Samuel.
Someone needs to just go full song on Jeff Stabnow, and they're going to go to the moon.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Somebody's just got to find the right corner to hit him.
Oh, where's Frank Harris?
Here we go. All right, we're watching Jeff Stabnow. Maybe Jeff is coming after. Well, what is he doing?
Oh.
You're hitting the wrong people.
He's trying his tripod out. He's trying the tripod out.
Oh,
He's going with 3 instead of 4.
Oh, there you go. Can he go in for a fast repair real quick?
I don't think they have that left.
Oh, here he comes.
Oh,
this is for
boy.
you, Wesley. Happy birthday. Look at it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, well. Hey, I will not say, hey, amongst all this celebration going on, how about, look at this. The Catman, James Vining, got third. Look at him driving these cars. 3 wheels on the... It looks like the opposite of a dirt late model on the track. This is an extended Northwest high five salute. We would already be done by now, but since the race went caution-free, you're seeing, a hell of a demolition derby.
Again, you talked about frustration, tempers flaring. Well, they're just getting a little bit of that out now, as these guys know they're going to be taking. No, we're not going to be going straight to action immediately into next week, as we're actually going to be taking a week off, and we'll be back to ARCA racing for these drivers. We're going to be going to Gateway Worldwide Technology Raceway on the 15th. So, hey, they're trying to get as much energy out as possible in these ARCA cars.
We're off next Monday? We're off next Friday night?
Yeah, we're off next Friday night.
Oh, I didn't get the memo. I'm sorry. Our
Based on the schedule, but
tell us.
who knows? The schedule could change.
It's Halloween. It's Halloween. Anything's possible. So basically, after Atlanta, then we take a week off for Cup and Truck, right? Or is that hashtag fake news?
I
don't know.
I believe so, but we'll double check with the schedule. We'll let them continue wrecking. We're gonna take a look now at our unofficial racing results as they continue to pile it
Tear 'em
down.
up, boys.
As
Tear
your
'em up.
Unofficial racing results presented by thatofsawblade.com. Winning here tonight in a dominating fashion, Sean Breitzman, Wesley's pick, and of course, Birthday Boy's going to get it right with that of Jeff Stabenow in second. The Catman, James Vining in third. Robert Gamble in fourth. Ryan Bloom in fifth. Troy Daggett going to be getting sixth place with Frank Harris in seventh. Judd Wakefield in eighth place. Ray Fortner going to be getting ninth with Toby Ritters, even with his massive mistake on the money stop, 10th place finish for the 23.
Aaron Cooper will finish in 11th, followed by Kevin Smith. And remember, he's already punched his ticket into the round of 8, so bad day for him. It doesn't matter. Russ Lundberg, 13th. Stephen O'Hare and Tyson Daggett in the 15th position. No caution flag at all. Except for now.
The only caution that we've had for this whole entire ARCA series was our comp caution back at the start of the playoffs at the Indy Road Course. Since then, it has been clean green, and we'll see if it continues on. And as they continue to have fun, we got to throw it over to
Samuel. There needs to be a race director. Samuel, there needs to be a race director meeting that says, guys, okay, I know, okay, we need cautions, okay, guys? We need a caution. We need cautions.
We need a caution, and also we need explanation. How have they not blown their engines yet? They are still going. I don't know how they're still going.
They are dedicated. I love it. I love it. They're dedicated.
Well, as they continue to have fun, we got to step aside because we got a post-race show to get to. We're going to be interviewing our top 3. Sean Breitzman, the 3-wheeled bandit of Jeff Stabenow, who's somehow still out there, and as well, the Catman, the 333 of James Vining. So we'll be right back in just a few.
An automobile purchase shouldn't be hard. The hardest part for the consumer in the whole process should be selecting the vehicle. We have the online credit application. We can bring the car to you to see it, to test drive it, to deliver it. We have all the tools in place, and we've had them in place for a long time. I just think now we've perfected it. It's become part of our culture. We've, kind of taken it to the next level. It is easy, and it should be easy, and it should be fun, and it shouldn't take a whole lot of time.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Northwest ARCA series, our post-race show, getting to talk to our top 3. Sean Breitzman getting the win, Jeff Stabenow in second, but we're going to start things off with our third-place finisher in the 333. It's James Vining, the Catman. James, what a race that you had. A top 3 finish for yourself. Give a little bit of a rundown of how this race went for yourself.
It's actually started off, I was real worried because the car was loose and it got really tight. And I thought I burned up my right front tire, but I just started backing off a little bit. And then when I did that first pit, I noticed I didn't use as much tire as I thought. So I pushed it harder on the second time around. And it was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be fine. And then just all of a sudden, it felt like I was on rails. It's like I couldn't do nothing wrong. It was just awesome. And I've had the worst luck this practice sessions earlier. I mean, I think must have wrecked 15 times in 1 and 2 there. Burned up my right, tried to do a fuel run 3 different times, lost a right front tire each time before I made it to the pits. So yeah, I'm stoked. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's got to be like a win for you, obviously, James. Man,
Oh, absolutely.
You've definitely gone through some trials and tribulations virtually with these races you've had. And this has got to be also a momentum boost, man, moving into Northwest Cup and Truck Series. I know you're not running for a championship, but just getting more laps and experience and getting the opportunity to race up in the front with drivers like Sean Breitzman, Jeff Stabnow, Kevin Smith, and so many others that are really getting experience like you're doing tonight.
Yeah, just like last week, you guys noticed until the very end of that pit, I didn't have no tires, but I was doing really good in that race, and it was a lot to do with, just more track time, and I'm being a little bit more calmer or patient or whatever. So I get real stressed out. Jeff and those guys know about it, but I just get real wound up when I'm racing.
Well, James, I mean, you're in the looking like points-wise. You were the highest of all the playoff drivers here tonight. You were already inside the top 8. You're moving on, it looks like, to the next round of the round of 8. How are you feeling about this next round that we're getting ready for?
Oh, this next round's awesome. The first track I'm not too good with, but let's see, Homestead, Chicagoland, those two, I've won quite a few races in the official series in those two, so I'm really looking forward to those two for sure.
Well, James, a great finish for yourself. And before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout-outs.
Tom Denschel and the Auto Group and Kevin Smith for all the help they've done in the whole series. Jeff for all the tutoring and help and extra time he's put into the league. I wouldn't be anywhere close to running as good without his help. I'd like to also my teammates there, Ryan Bloom. Why am I just getting so stupid here all of a sudden? Rob Gambill, Frank Harris, and then Steven when he's here. Those guys get out and practice really helps us out a lot.
That's James Vining. James, what a run for yourself. Top 3 finish for the 333. Catman, good luck going into the next round. And honestly, good luck in general and a great run here today.
Thank you, guys.
And now we move up to Jeff Stabnow, who had a couple of scares early in the race and also got into the wall a couple of times. Jeff, there were moments where we thought your race was completely snuffed out, but a second-place finish for yourself.
Yeah, Sean and I didn't really get any practice, and we kind of jumped in right before the race. And I think you saw the difference between Sean and I. He doesn't need practice. I do. I was surprised to even get the pole. Kind of blew me away. That I even got the pole on that. I didn't expect that. Normally I'm a long run guy, but I was just eating up the right front. I'm sure you saw me drop it like a rock about 30 laps in. So, I short pit a couple times. I used the wall instead of the brakes a couple times to slow down. And then that last run, I just kind of had to save some tires because I had a little bit longer run there and just try to finish on a right front. Just didn't have anything at all for Sean. I thought Toby was going to be in the top 3. I don't know what happened on that pit stop cycle, but I never saw him again. And he had the long run speed, man. He should have been a top 3 car. He probably should have beat me tonight. So, but yeah, Sean kind of whooped me out there tonight.
Well, Jeff, you take this opportunity of using these races to just try to gain experience or to get some more seat time in preparing for these Northwest Cup and truck events. But you obviously want to win, and you did get a win. You won last Friday night at Iowa. But what can you take from Atlanta being caution free. Do you think the Cup and Truck race will be that way come Monday and Wednesday with the way the track was, or was it just the drivers, the cars? This race was not what I was expecting it to turn out to be tonight.
No, I think the guys here in this ARCA series drive a lot smarter than the guys up in the Cup and the Truck series do. I don't think they press things as much. They kind of just wait, bide their time. You know, they're focused on trying to save tires, things like that. So I think, you know, the Cup and the truck race, you're going to see plenty of cautions. There'll be no shortage there. As far as what can I take from this, you know, just a seat time. I mean, this car drives different, but, you know, I got to experiment with some different lines. You know, I got to run up top there a little bit and see how the tire wear was up there versus the lap times. You know, I got to play with some different entries, different braking points, things like that, you know, and especially on that last run when, you know, our fate was pretty much sealed. So just, you know, get to test some different lines. You get to get that rhythm a little bit. You know, we know that the track's heating up right fronts, or at least on that set. So, yeah, I don't know what exactly I'll take, but if we run into a situation where we're having troubles keeping tires on the, you know, the Cup car, maybe I can draw from this a little bit. But
Yeah, I mean,
just
sorry
having
about
fun.
that, Jeff.
Oh, no problem.
You know, Jeff, we saw a lot of the drivers. You touched on where did Toby go? Well, Toby got caught with a speeding penalty coming into pit road, and we saw a couple of those penalties coming up on this money stop with the older tires and how much they're being worn down. How hard was it coming into pit road for these green flag pit stops?
I honestly didn't have a problem. I just kind of cruised right in. If anything, maybe I came in a little bit soft, a little gentle. Maybe that was it. I was, you know, tires were kind of shot, so you know, I was braking. I had a braking point figured out, and you know, when I'm getting warnings for my tire being ate up, then of course I'm braking a little early getting in the pits. I'd rather lose a half second getting in than, you know, have to sit there for 17 seconds.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff, second place finish, and before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout outs.
Yeah, well, I think we got to start off with Tom Denschel Auto. I think next week is going to be a blast with the Tom Denschel Auto. The jackpot rolling over to $100 for these guys. It's getting getting to be some serious cash. I'm surprised there weren't more guys out here trying to get to 75 tonight. But yeah, Tom Denschel Auto Group, their website, tomdenschelautogroup.com. They've been a great sponsor all year. 100% online transaction. So if you're just even looking at cars, go on their website, check it out. They can do start to finish online. And of course, LSRTV. You guys, as always, are fantastic, and can't wait to go back and see how you guys did on this one.
This one was certainly a fun one for us up in the booth. Jeff Stab now second place finish, and good luck for the rest of the week for the Cup and Trucks.
Thank you, sir.
As now we head over to Victory Lane, where we find Sean Breitzman doing practically the same thing that he did at Indianapolis, getting up front and leading most of this race. Sean, how was that race for yourself in those late stages? Because it seemed like you were just figuring out this track every single lap, and we heard from Jeff, you didn't really get much track time. So how was this race for yourself?
It was great. You know, the Lowe's Chevy was on point tonight. Started out a little in the learning process, but we figured it out pretty decently and made for those good green flag pit stops and cycled out to lead and able to settle in and get some good runs in.
I'll tell you what, though, Sean, I guess I kind of use the same question that I used with Jeff. I mean, basically, you really don't need to be here. You don't need to run the Northwest, but the olive branch was extended for guys like yourselves that are Northwest Cup and truck competitors to run with these guys. And it's because learning to race like what James Vining's done, what Kevin Smith has done, Toby Ritter's, Ryan Bloom, just some of the names that I'm thinking off the top of my head. What does that mean to you building up that roster of the ARCA program to get these guys to be able to compete and race with you for not only wins soon, but championships on the Northwest Cup and Truck Series?
You know, I think that's the goal of every series, right? Is to develop drivers, whether it be in the Premier Series, the Truck Series. It doesn't matter. if any of these guys come to me and want to learn about what I'm doing or how I'm driving a line, I have no problem helping out and trying to take that on and give them some info, or they can look at my laps or whatever they want to do. But I think they're definitely getting closer and closer, especially as we move forward here, with us kind of coming down and racing here in the ARCA series, really just to try to help the driver count as well. So kind of like I've said in the Cup and the Truck, for most people is the more drivers you get, the more changes to a playoff race you can have. If we just wanted the playoff drivers to race, we would just let the playoff drivers race.
Yeah, and Sean, I mean, both yourself and Jeff Stabnow, you guys have dominated these past. You went winning today in the last 2 weeks, which there was a Tom Denchel money pot that continues to grow now. It was $75 today for an ARCA regular to get a win. Now with you winning today, it's now bumped up to $100 for the next race if an ARCA regular wins. How much of a motivation is that to continue to win, to try to make that pot bigger and bigger for those ARCA regular drivers?
It's kind of what my goal is as I show up here Friday night, is to see if I can, win out. If I can extend those to a huge, I don't know how many races, 4 more. So, I mean, it'd be a huge playoff race and or championship race. So my goal is to try to win out. I might have to put in a little bit more practice for this if I want to continue that. But that's really the goal, is to create a great potential for a championship race of, for one of these ARCA regulars to take home the championship and, a huge pot from Tom Denchel Auto.
Well, Sean, before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout-outs.
First, got to thank my normal sponsor, Bright's Boutique. Check them out on Etsy. You can Google us. Custom handmade clay earrings, resin, coasters, all sorts of kind of cool decor. Custom orders too, if you want it. Got to thank you guys at LSRTV for everything you guys do. TomDenchelautogroup.com. Again, with their money pot here in the ARCA series and then sponsoring the Cup series. Check out that if you're in the market for a new car. And then lastly, I'd like to thank everybody at the Northwest Racing Series, and then also wish everybody in the Northwest that has made the travel to the Fall Classic this year at Tri-Cities Raceway, for the Fall Classic. So good luck to all of our Northwest regulars that are over there this weekend, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys on Monday.
That's going to be Sean Breitzman, your winner here today at Atlanta, starting out the Atlanta week. And now the next stop going to be for the Cups and the Trucks. And Sean, good luck going to that, and have a good night celebrating this victory.
Thanks, Sam.
Well, it's been a long night. We got to see Sean Breitzman dominate, get up front, win. But we do have to give a big thanks to Tom Denchel. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be Wesley and I closing this thing out. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back in a few.
An automobile purchase shouldn't be hard. The hardest part for the consumer in the whole process should be selecting the vehicle. We have the online credit application. We can bring the car to you to see it, to test drive it, to deliver it. We have all the tools in place, and we've had them in place for a long time. I just think now we've perfected it. It's become part of our culture. We've, kind of taken it to the next level. It is easy, and it should be easy, and it should be fun, and it shouldn't take a whole lot of time.
Well, we got to keep the happy birthday going. Wesley's birthday was, looking back at it, an hour and 30 minutes. But Wesley, still happy birthday. Thanks for joining us on your birthday. Man, well, give us your thoughts on tonight being your birthday, and what a wild race this one was.
As a fun time. I always enjoy looking at checking out the Northwest ARCA series when I can. It was a great 38th birthday. People have asked me, what did you do? Did you enjoy? Did you relax? No, I'm not 83. I was born in 83, producer, but I'm 38 years old. But listen, from what Melissa gave me last night as a birthday present, by the way, Samuel, they called this a cruiser tumbler. Melissa gave this to me. So, Melissa, thank you so much. I know she's watching. This was the first birthday present I got from somebody. And then the calls and the texts and the Venmos of people sending money and the LSRTV apparel. Thank you for the. I'm rubbing my chest. I'm sorry, but I'm showing off the LSRTV logo here. Thank you to Land's End Apparel and everybody at Rocket Media and LSRTV for the birthday present with the shirts. Samuel, I know you're getting some too. But no, hey, listen, it's not about me. It's about these guys. What an awesome race they put on. I will say I was disappointed. I thought it was a good race, but I think these guys respected each other, and there wasn't any yellow flags. There wasn't any calamity. We had a fun Northwest salute, if you will, Northwest high five salute at the end of things. But when it was all said and done, congratulations. My pick, Sean Breitzman, he won. Comets won against Southeast Raleigh on CRN 40-18. I had a blast calling that football game. And then, of course, the kicker did much better tonight, producer. Yes, he did. And definitely Sean Breitzman, my pick, winning. So it's always fun, Samuel. Thank you for the birthday. I always tell people it's just another day, but because of people like yourself and so many great friends and colleagues and family, it makes me just kind of be humble and say I'm blessed to be, I'm blessed to be able to be who I am and know the people that I know. And I've definitely been kind of down on my dumps here for the last couple of weeks. Keep praying for my son, everybody. He's got the COVID stuff going on and just dealing with some other things. But today was definitely a good one, Samuel, and I appreciate you being the send-off for it.
Yeah, we're happy to give you a happy birthday and, setting all this up. It certainly was fun trying to keep this a secret from telling you because there were a couple times where, I almost typed in the chat being like, hey, we got this set up for Wesley, right? And luckily I didn't send anything. But, yeah, about tonight's race. It
undercover, if you will, undercover.
We tried our best. I think we did a decent job at it, keeping it undercover. Yeah. But for tonight's race, it was playoff racing action. We don't have the numbers exactly on who's making it in or out, but for Dennis Moore, he's got to be shaking in his boots. He didn't show up tonight, and there was a lot of good racing from Troy Daggett as well as Judd Wakefield, both getting top 10 finishes for themselves. That's a lot of big points that could be pushing them into the playoffs, and Carl Burke not there.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of shuffling going on who's in and who's out in the ARCA series, and we'll have to wait and see when that happens next week. But for us here at LSRTV, Wesley, some of your final thoughts.
Man, I just thought it was a good show. Congratulations to Sean Breitzman. Again, I thought there was going to be a lot of craziness, but when you got a lot of the key contenders that are not here, and I heard Sean Breitzman say, Samuel, that we do have some drivers from the Northwest that are actually competing in the Fall Classic race and things going on. So that might be the reason why we didn't have the car count that we had. But, hey, these guys have a week off. There's more money on the line. More money makes people do crazy stuff, okay? And do I finally get to blow out the candle over there? There's a candle. Do I finally get to blow it out?
I don't know if we got our graphics that. Hold on.
Blow out
you got
to
face at it. You got to face at it. You got to actually face at it, and then maybe it'll go. Oh, there we go. We're back. Thank you so much to LSRTV Productions. Tonight was a roller coaster on the production side, but it certainly was a fun night. And Wesley,
we covered
to finish things out. we did. To finish things out, we actually did get the numbers in. Your 8 drivers that are going to be moving on to the round of 8. We already knew Kevin Smith was locked in with his win at the road course. It's Ryan Bloom,
this is not
Robert Gamble.
Fake news.
No, this just came in. We just got this. So first, it's going to be Kevin Smith. Second, Ryan Bloom. Third, going to be Robert Gamble. James Vining getting 4th. 5th, going to Toby Ritters. Frank Harris getting 6th. And taking those final 2 spots, Troy Daggett, Judd Wakefield. They push out Carl Burke and Dennis Moore out of your final 8. So Dennis Moore, a driver that had a chance to win a championship and one of probably the favorites because he didn't show up here tonight. Yeah. He's out of the top 8, and he's not going to be in the championship anymore.
And you got to wonder, Samuel, I wonder if he's putting his time and effort now in the Northwest Cup and Truck Series. Maybe he feels like, I'm going to step out of the way here on ARCA. I'm going to let these guys try to go for a championship. Because honestly, Samuel, the driver in the 44 has done really good in the Cup and Truck Series the last couple of weeks. He is a championship contender in both, and I think that's honestly what his quest and mission is.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard it from, Stephen O'Hare as well as Tyler King on the fact that Dennis Moore has helped that whole entire Beaver State racing team as a whole, and him staying more focused in helping out for the truck setup and just trying to figure out the long run setup for the Cup car. It makes a lot of sense. But man, tonight we got to see our first of the cutoff races at Atlanta, and we get to see more action a Monday night. It's going to be the Cup cars, same time, 11:35 Eastern. But here tonight, it was all Sean Breitzman getting the win. And once again, that money pot, Wesley, it builds. It's now going to be $100 if we see a regular ARCA driver getting the win. And if they get the win at that of the Gateway, yeah, I mean, they can be getting $100 just like that. It could happen next week.
In the words of Jerry
It could build it more.
Show me the money.
And the money's there, but it's got to be an ARCA regular that gets the win, or the pot continues to grow. We're excited to see if we can see that pot continue to grow or not. But from here up in the booth, I mean, it was a fun one, Wesley. Any final words that you've got?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the birthdays. I've blown out the candles. It's officially October 2nd, 2021 now in my world of North Carolina. I'm 38. The day's over of celebrating. It's time to go do what I do best, and that's broadcast racing and sports. And looking forward to another exciting year working with you guys on your home for sim racing. But I am hungry, so I'm going to go make me a 2 a.m. snack, if you will.
Hey, we'll let you go. We'll go back down to the track side. We'll take another look at Atlanta. We're back here Monday night. We're going to be seeing the Cup cars attacking to see. We go from 12 down to 8 again, and it's all cutoff racing this week. Trucks on Wednesday night, but here for the ARCA series, we already ran down our 8 drivers. They got to focus up, get ready. Gateway, the next place they're heading towards, and we can't wait for all that action. For the LSRTV Studio Productions, for Jeff Stabnow, Rocket Media, thank you so much to everyone joining us. Wesley Allen joining me to be my co-commentator for Friday nights in the ARCA series. Myself, Sam Dyer. Thanks for joining us here tonight. We'll see you Monday, or we'll see you next week. We'll see you in a few.